How to do it in English for a second. At A channel. Hi guys, sorry we lost you for a little bit. We were rushing here in this Rhino Game Reserve, currently in a Kaya property. You got it now? William just sent me a link for you guys, for me to see the chat from you guys. We actually darted one white rhino in this thicket at the moment, but this is the part of the 5. So this is the already called the group called Lucky 5, which is the 5 orphanage. They always stay together. The one is down, but we don't know where the other 4s are. So we are kind of trying to assess the situation. As soon as we know the safety, we will go in to film this Lucky 5. And Brent is up in air on the chopper, in a helicopter, but he's gonna come down. The helicopter is down now, so he will come to join us in the field right now.
This is Ringo.
Ringo.
He's our male.
Male.
2 males, yeah.
Okay,
3
cool.
males.
Cool, thank you. So this, out of 5 orphanage, the 2 are boys, and this is called Ringo. So this is the boy we're gonna be working on now, and this is the one, the orphanage that the mother being lost to the poachers, has been fallen victim to the poachers. So this is the orphan of it, and now we're gonna do the dehorning on him. And Ben just was speaking to my ears that he's now on the ground. He's gonna come and join us in the field to do the dehorning. The first one actually went very, very well. So I think maybe after Anna will give us a go ahead, we will start going in the site, and we'll start doing the process. So what happens is, when we do the dehorning, we put a lot of dosage from the air when we do the dart from the chopper, and then the rhinos go down. As soon as the rhino is down, the people on the ground will rush to this rhino to, okay, now I finally got the feed up. Cool, thanks guys. 70 people watching. Hi guys. Are you guys watching? Yay, my chat is working. Thank you, great stuff. How are you guys doing? We are now live from the property called Rhino, and this is the very home to the good population of the rhinos. Hence the reason why we do this operation called dehorning, to protect them from the poachers, which is very, very important. The first rhino we did, his name is now called Asahi. The first rhino dehorning has been solely funded by Japanese people actually, and then they also had a right to name this rhino. So the code name is the number 12, but now he's became Asahi. Asahi means the sunrise. So yeah, it's a very good name. And his home was actually almost like 30 centimeters already, so it was quite long, and it was in a danger from the poachers. So that's why it was a really good smooth one to get it done and over with. And then now I don't know how actually how big the homes are of these orphans. I haven't seen recently. I think last time I've seen was, no, actually I've seen a few months ago, and then I could see they were dehorned already, but that was, I think it's from 2 years ago. And then remember, the horn do grow back. It's a keratin, same as your hair. Look at my hair, the nails, they all grow up. So with the rhinos, some of it depends on obviously the situation, the areas and individuals, but it can grow maybe like even 7 centimeters per year. So it's quite a bit. So if you wait for 2 years, it's already a 15 centimeter almost. So it's a ongoing project, and we have to keep doing this. It's not a great thing to do. You will see after we dart the rhinos, the rhino will still run, trying to get away from the chopper, and sometimes go get cuts from the branches next to them, and you start seeing the little cuts and the bleeding, and it really feels terrible to do this. And then once the rhino is down, the rhino have to breathe on its own. Otherwise, it's too risky to keep the rhino completely under sedation. So that's why we actually put a little bit of small dosage of the reverse drug, so that the rhino comes back up a little bit. So now he can actually, hear what's happening, and then also actually can see. So that's why we put the eye cover and the earbud in. There's someone speaking to me.
Why have you not moved the clock next to the rhino for signal?
Oh, it's a time.
Come on, you've been sitting here for how long? Think.
I was just waiting for go ahead. Apparently we are good to go to get closer to the rhino. So we'll try to get this car close as possible.
Now reverse. Make sure
Yeah. Can you use here? Like this, Brent? Yeah, let me just do one more. Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to the second live ever Rhino Dehorning. We're about to get going. Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Brian's just getting my second mic pack. I've just been in the chopper. Very, very exciting. Hello Libby, Jake, Lucille, R. Moore, Jeremy, Annie. Exciting stuff, very exciting stuff. We're going to get closer. The guys are just doing measurements and stuff like that at the moment. We're going to go have a look at that right now. And of course this is brought to you by Rhino Revolution. And again, thank you to all of those who have donated and supported this incredible initiative. You are personally helping keep rhinos safe here in Africa. Brian, you ready to go for a wander?
I am indeed.
You got my audio up? Okay, good. So this is one of the lucky five, the 5 orphans. So their mothers were poached, and Rhino Revolution came in and kept them in an orphanage, and they were released together. So there's 5 orphans together. Absolutely incredible. And Dr. Pete Rogers has been working on them since they arrived. So there's the man who pops the darts up in the tree. He's got the mask on because he's got to actually get very close to all those fine fumes or fine flakes that are going to be coming out while the rhino's being dehorned. Okay, we're trying to remove some thorn trees so everyone can work safely. And there's Anna, who you guys know from Rhino Revolution. See, she's getting all the documentation done, and they're going to make sure the chips are all working. So all rhinos have chips in them, just in case something happens to them. No worries. Okay, so there we go, guys. Beautiful. Big boy, young bull. Anna, how old is he? Anna's busy. We'll find out in a second. So you're doing measurements, and then you might notice there's a little bit later. How old is he, Anna? And who is this?
This is Ringo.
Ringo!
Commonly known as Fatty.
Fatty! And how old is Ringo?
Ringo, I'll have to double check on that for you.
But guess.
He's about 4 or 5 years old.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
So in very good condition looking at him, Mr. Fatty. Now you'll see there's earplugs in his ears. That's obviously to minimize his stress. There's a lot of noise around these type of operations, obviously, because we have to use a chainsaw. He's growing.
He's our big boy. He's our biggest. He takes number 12 on.
Really?
He number 12 away.
He's chasing one of the big adult bulls already.
The one that we just did.
Yeah. So there we go. Now you'll watch Janelle from ProVet is going to mark quite carefully exactly where to cut with the chainsaw. Now if you cut below that, there's a growing point and blood vessels, so we've got to be very, very careful.
People tell me that
6, 4,
Close
6.
to 6 or 7, yeah.
Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Okay, so we're going to start. Everyone's going to get ready for a bit of noise. We might take a step back, or I will take a step back so I can keep talking you through it while Brian brings you the images. Now, as stressful as this is, it's really, really important. Only one of the many measures we use to keep rhinos safe. Dr. Rob, indeed a chainsaw. It's the fastest and most efficient way to actually get the horn off. We use a chainsaw first, and there we go. You can actually see there. And then also with the chainsaw, let me just go grab that quickly. Well, we'll have a look once the guys are done. I'll show you a close-up of the horn. And then after the chainsaw is being used, we'll actually use a grinder and to grind that horn as low as possible. Now, of course, the reason for that is to make sure we have to dehorn these animals as few times as possible. Now, generally, if you can work on about a kg a year in terms of regrowth. So a kg is 2.2 pounds, about 2.2 pounds of growth per year. Exactly, Jake. That's why we plug their ears. Roland, excellent question. It smells almost like burning keratin. If you had to burn hair, obviously a chainsaw is working at a very high speed, so it creates heat. So that's the best description of smelling. What it smells like would be like burning hair, but not quite. Libby, they actually wake up very, very quickly after dehorning. We'll be here for the wake up. So now Rian's doing some expert trimming work. And once the guys are finished, we'll get a bit closer and have a look. Obviously, we don't want to stay away from a chainsaw. Bobby, a lot of people are saying this is incredible teamwork. It is. So the other four are not far away. We've got a fixed wing, which is a small aeroplane up in the air that's keeping an eye on the other four while the chopper's on the ground. So as soon as we finish with the dehorning here, we can jump immediately to go do the next one of the 5. Barbara, indeed. They do need to be placed a certain way, particularly with dehorning. You don't want them lying on their side, you want them lying on their chest, and you've got to be careful about how their legs are so their circulation stays good. Now, one thing that is really good today is that it's really, really cool. So normally if it was a normal local summer day and quite hot, we'd be worried about them overheating, and we'd actually we carry water with us, and there'd be lots of water being poured onto them. Jeremy, there has been records of poachers poaching dehorned rhinos in populations where you've got both dehorned and horned rhinos, because what it does is it stops them from wasting time tracking. But touch wood, we haven't had an incident in this reserve in over 10 years. But it's by constant vigilance. Dehorning is not the only solution. It's vigilance, presence, anti-poaching, patrols, boots on the ground. Rhino Revolution has horseback patrols as well, combined with dehorning. Shamsung, a lot of experience.
For a second? We don't want you live for a second.
Yuka, take over.
Sorry.
Just wait, I need to turn off the microphone off.
Yeah. Because you're in the plane.
Now, is mic on, Dim? I put my mic on now. Okay, yes, now we started grinding the rhino horn, so a lot of powder will start coming out now. This is to make the rhino horn as little as possible, because there is a still chance the dehorned rhino can still be poached for the little rhino, the horn still left. So we have to make sure the rhino horn that's left there is as little as possible. So that's what the vets are busy doing now. They're grinding. All the powder will come out. But obviously we don't want to get the germinal layer, which is called the base of the horns. And underneath the germinal layer, there's so much blood vessels going on. So we don't want to go that. But I think you can see all those black parts in the middle. That's actually where all the blood vessels waiting, the holding. Now Brent is back. I should put my mic off.
Arch, indeed, he is a gorgeous boy, coming into his prime. So you can have a look here. It is just, imagine a large fingernail. That's what it is. Dr. Rob, as I said, there's been a lot of research and stuff done in this, and obviously on poached animals and on dead animals, the vets have been able to figure out exactly where the growth points are and all that type of stuff. So, I mean, they are so professional. Sorry, I'm inhaling rhino horn at the moment. There's all this fine mist, and that's why the guys close up are wearing masks and buffs. Bobby, if there's an open injury or something, yes, there will be some work done. Otherwise, no. They'll probably just get a shot of penicillin in the dart sites to make sure there's no infection. But other than that, we don't really treat anything that, because unless there's something visible. Our pleasure, Roland. We'll get a chance to talk to some of the people afterwards once they've finished working.
I need to remember to take them to photos.
Yes, we will. We've still got a lot more to do today.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, Julie, the plugs are in there. You can see there's a little string between his ears. That's the plugs are deep in the ear. Kelowna, sometimes one can go a little bit too deep and then it does sometimes bleed. But I mean, we work with such incredible professionals, we haven't seen that in years. The guys have got so used to doing this and do it so frequently that they are just literally a well-oiled machine. Yeah, very fancy mani-pedi, well, pedicure, manicure. Christopher Hartman, indeed, the horns grow back. You can work on about 1 kg a year. That's how quickly the horns grow back, just like your fingernails or your hair. Joanne, butorphanol was used to put them to sleep, if that helps you with anything. Libby, they definitely do feel some of the work happening. You don't put them completely to sleep while you're doing this. They're sort of just under, and that's why the earplugs are there, blindfold. But it's the safest way to work on the animals, because every time you dart the animal, there is always a chance that something might go wrong. So that's why, again, you'll see Josh working really hard there, trying to get that horn as low as possible, which means we don't have to dehorn again. And so we're trying to do them as few times as possible. Wendy, you can keep a rhino down while we can ask Uncle Pete. Pete? Sorry, Pete. What's the longest you should keep a rhino down for, or can, safely?
You could keep them down, for really, you keep on topping them up ad infinitum, but obviously the longer you keep it down, the more risky the anesthetic. We're working on him. He is asleep, but he's still manageable. His head's off the ground.
Yeah.
You just want to keep him at that level that he's, that he's manageable and he's not hearing or feeling anything. So he's got his head off the ground. But if he lies on that back leg for more than 25 minutes, you've either got to wake him up or you've got to roll him. So that's why I'm watching it now. He's been down. So we've got another 5 minutes to work on this leg.
So another 5 minutes before we either have to move him, roll him, or wake him up.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of the stuff depends on how the animal falls, what position. The thing that the vets worry a lot about is actually the circulation. So if basically a dead leg, a big animal like this, he's got to get up and it's lost all the circulation, the pins and needles will be very, very bad.
Right, right.
So there we go. Here's what she's on her way.
Down there looks professional.
No worries. Oh, he's making some noises. Hi, big boy.
Sorry, Brent.
No worries. So we've got Anna from Rhino Revolution with us here.
Hi, guys.
And just a big thank you to Rhino Revolution UK, to you guys who've supported. It's been absolutely incredible, the efforts and everything. The ground team really appreciate it.
Huge thanks to everyone, especially Rhino Revolution UK and Painted Dog TV.
How many times in a rhino's life will this have to be done on average?
Depends how old the rhino lives for. So at the moment we're dehorning these rhino every 1.5 to 2 years, and it all depends on the length of growth. Usually you're looking at about 5 centimeters, 5 fingers, and then you know the animal's ready to dehorn again.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wake him up, Uncle Pete.
Yeah.
Okay,
guys,
so we're going to move off a little bit. We're just going to stay here for a second.
Yeah.
Pete, do you want to volunteer?
Okay.
Okay, gonna be quick, okay? Come.
So there's lots of different people around. We've got the Green Kids, which is part of Rhino Revolution's outreach program. He's going to get to paint a bit of varnish on the horn.
Okay, look at me.
Come in. Good job.
There's going to be no time because of the leg. We've got lots to go today. So they do wake up quite quickly. We're going to jump onto the car shortly. Oh, I'm just going to have... Now, of course, there's oxygen actually in his nose while he's down to keep him going. And then here come the earmuffs.
Everybody on the vehicles,
Isn't it absolutely incredible, guys?
Here we go.
Okay, Mike. I've got to do it on, Mike.
Yeah.
I've got to do it on this side, so if you want to come here.
Yeah.
I've got to do it here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The varnish just keeps it
On the vehicle?
on the vehicle, guys. Everyone on vehicles. Okay. Where's Uncle Jerry? Yuka, let's move the vehicle to this side.
the reversals in, please everyone move away.
Yeah, we're gonna move. Come, just jump on. Where are you going? We're gonna go that side, I think, with Jerry. You wanna jump in here, Pete? Which car are you in? That's
Okay, ja. Ek gaan hierso bly met die voertuig, want die ander is net hierso.
quickly, Yuka.
So as hulle hom gaan
No, Yuka, where are you going?
Okay, well done.
Can stop here, huh? Keep coming. Okay, good. Are we good here, Pete?
Yeah.
You happy here?
I'm gonna stand by on this fence.
Are you going? We're going to the chopper.
Yes. Going to the chopper.
Okay. So guys, I'm going to say goodbye now. We might get a view of this animal from the chopper quickly. I'm off back into the chopper. I'll keep my mic pack with me. Bye.
All right, no, sorry. Stay here.
Yuka, all yours.
Okay. My mic is on. Do you copy, BM? Am I not on the coma anymore?
I don't know. I'm not. You're on? You're live?
Hold on, I'm not on the coma, I think. Or am I? Cool. Guys, there you go. Okay, cool. Thank you, Vim. Now we are just waiting for the rhino to wake up. He already got the reverse drugs, so we are just waiting for him to start waking up. You'll start seeing him trying to stand up probably, but it's still, you know, it's still quite grey now, grey zone. So now you can see his ears moving quite a lot, and eyes are open, and you're gonna start seeing him, you know, like, you know, breathing through the nose hard, and then he will start you know, stand up. It will struggle at first a little bit, but in a minute or so he will shortly be fine in most of the cases. Let's see how he reacts to it. But basically it depends on all individuals. Every time it's quite different. But sorry guys, I think my iPad is giving me an issue, so I cannot check your chats unfortunately. But we just at the moment we are monitoring this rhino to safely wake up from the drugs. The whole operation, they go now. He's on his feet, stood up. If this was a black rhino, this will be a completely different story. He will be trying to charge all the vehicles around, be super angry. But the white rhinos are generally more calmful. So like you can see him now, he's just a little bit confused. I'm like, oh no, this was not present. I'm sure he's not happy with what happened, but he's not aggressive either. He's just a little confused, just trying to find his way, because he also is normally with other rhinos. I'm sure he's gonna try to go back to his people, his rhinos. Now he's start to walk up. If shows any kind of aggressive behavior, we will have to move off quickly, but I doubt he will do. He's very calm ones. Now the Rhino from the Rhino Revolution is talking to him. I can't see him now though. How close is he? Okay, now I can see. There you go. Yeah. Now he's going back into the bush. That's good, because we don't want him to accidentally go into the fence. He's breathing heavily now. You can see the mark on the orange on the back, which is for make it easier for the chopper to see that one is done, because we still have more to go. So we don't want to get confused and waste our time and, you know, cause any issues on the rhinos. So that's just a mark for us to see. It will come off eventually, naturally. Yeah, probably curious. Yeah, he's thinking, no, not again. I'm not doing this again. I'm sure that's how he feels. It's not painful, but I'm sure it is discomfort. I think it's more close to the feeling that we get when you are at the dentist. And I hate dentists. So I am totally with Rhino's feeling that this is not anything present. You don't feel the pain, but you know that, you know, horrible discomfort when you're in a dentist. It's all the molars being, you know, I think that's what they feel like, because it's not painful, because it's not, you know, touching any, you know, the nerves, but it just, you know, I can imagine the discomfort from they have to go through from the dehorning. So it's definitely not something we want to keep doing. This is just last resort. I mean, the dehorning has been done from even like, you know, long time ago, even from the 1989. A lot of reserve used to do it. The first one was in Namibia, and in some countries don't even do it anymore because it's not necessary. But in South Africa, it is as bad that we have to do this. So actually this is the last resort, and we are in a stage that we have to do this to save the species. So which is very unfortunate, and it's not a good process for them, but it's something to get done. It's better than losing the rhino's life as a whole. But this was a very smooth one, all nicely finished up. Rhino is on his feet, back in block. Now I think all of us, Brian, me, Brent, got all the rhino home powder all over our face at the moment. And this is actually tricky. If you go to the you know, any airport, and if the dog smells on you, I think especially because I'm also Asian, I think I'll be in a big trouble. So you have to make sure, even between your shoes laces and all that stuff, you have to check there is no rhino little home pieces stuck with you, because you know you don't want to be a rhino poachers. Yes, we will be going to do that another one. The chopper is still up in the air, so we are definitely trying to do more, because this is the part of the rhino that's the 5 orphans stay together, which is very sweet. So now there's still 4 more in the close vicinity. So that's why we actually all the vehicles still waiting here on the fence line. and then aircraft is still going up above, top of us, like literally on top of us. So the 4 others are definitely in here. So we're just waiting to hear what's gonna happen now, and if we could find another one, we're definitely gonna do it now. So Shami, the horn, that what happens to the horn after that, we cannot really tell you exactly what's going to happen. It's a really safety, security issues, but it will be kept somewhere. It's very safe and secure by the, in this case, it will be the person who can be owns the rhino, can be owner of the reserve. It depends on the situations and the cases, but we cannot really give you details on that. It's security issues, but it will be kept somewhere very safe and secure, so that people don't try to go and, you know, break out and take the rhino horn off the people, but which could have happened before as well. So it's a very big issue to make sure that it's safe and secure, the people can't go get to it. I hope so too. Yesterday we struggled a lot actually. We were out in the field since we left at home 5 o'clock, and we were looking for rhino until just 12:30. So we really had a long day yesterday looking for rhinos. We did not get any luck. We actually did find black rhinos. So one was done yesterday, but yeah, it can be very tricky. Sometimes it's like easy and smooth like this. Today has been very smooth today. We already did one with the Japanese broadcasting back for the donators, and now we did one, and then I'm sure the other 4 is still in here. So I think today is going to be a very successful one, but it's really funny how it works out. Sometimes it takes like 7 hours until before we can do one, and then now today we already did 2 very nice successfully. So it's interesting how all these things works. It's always not easy to work with nature, wild animals. It's always we have to make the way around it, unfortunately. But I guess that's the fun part of the job too. Yeah, Lucio, we do pick up all the, you know, chippies from the horns, but I don't think we can entirely pick up the whole thing. That will be a little bit too much, because it's almost like a powder. So I'm sure a lot of the stuff will still be left on the grasses too. Yeah, the big part will definitely collect it, but it's really like a dust and tiny pieces, and it's really thick grasses now, so it's not even, you know, visible. If it's like a concrete, we can just sweep it up, but unfortunately we cannot just sweep it and go. So quite a bit of the parts, pieces, and then the dust are still on the ground. Exactly, Guido. The African bush is so unpredictable. Sometimes it's so smooth, sometimes not. Is this the first time these particular rhinos had done this before? No, Christopher, actually this often has been done before. I have met these guys a few months ago, and I could already see that the rhino horns were already cut off, but it was growing back. So that's why we have to keep doing this. Almost every, Anna said a year and a half or 2 years. Yeah, so that's the times when we're working on. So they have them before. I think must have been 2 years before from now this orphan was done. So they know how it goes. So they know, oh, the dentist time again. I'm sure they were like, oh, not again. So yeah, they do know the procedure. Yeah, some even black rhinos, when they hear the chopper and the helicopter, they know, you know, what's gonna come. So they also run and try to hide away, or the thing will often happen. What's the youngest age this can be performed at? Espelina, it's a difficult one to answer. It's not depending on the age. It's actually depending on how big the rhino horn is. Because obviously, if there's not too much rhino horn is there's no really point, and also just the risk on the rhino body. So the measurement will be like, if there was a 4-finger, then I think you can operate to do the dehorning, because even if there's a more than 4-finger, like a 4-finger is the base, you can start cutting. So if it's anything above 4-finger from the bottom of the horn, then you can start cutting off, which will be probably be about, yeah, it depends on the area and individuals and genes, and they really change. The size of the horn really changes. It depends on the individual. So yeah, it's better to say with the size of the rhino than the age, I would say. can still hear the choppers going very, very, very low. So it's gonna happen soon. Exactly, no. It's actually very important to involve the kids from the local community around us, because obviously not all the kids from the community get to go on this kind of game drive or any safari tour. It is quite expensive, and it's more, you know, price is set for the international travelers. So it's quite an expensive thing for them to do. So actually even the kids that's living right next to the reserve have never seen the lion, or have never seen the rhino, or have never seen the elephant. They just hear about it. Looks like we are going, so I'm gonna go. I don't know what's happening really. I'm just gonna go now. With the Dehorning, every time there are lots of Ferrari safaris, you have to move one to viewpoints so quickly, and you cannot lose one another. Because this one is not live, apparently. Oh. Okay. We are now, I think the second run is done now. Chopper is doing an amazing job. The pilot, Jerry, is doing an amazing job to navigate them, and they're gonna try to sedate them now. Did you see the message from on the Telegram, DM? Yes, this is no live on this one. you so much guys for joining us today. Am I live now?
I think we are live.
Okay, thank you so much guys for joining us today. This is the wrap up for this live conservation experience with the virtual dehorning now. And we did one successfully, and then we're gonna start working more on, and we might go to the better the worst signal areas. So I think we will say goodbye here to be safe. And then thank you so much for joining today, and really huge thank you for you guys that who supported financially to make this possible. And thank you very much from all the Painted Dog TV. Okay, we might be able to bring you a more live virtual dehorning experience later, but with this one we will say goodbye for now. So thank you so much, John, and we might see you later. Bye guys.
Okay, welcome everyone. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. It is just, we're right on the edge of signal here. We're trying to make it work for you. Now, the rhino being dehorned behind us, his name is Ubuntu. And he was the first rhino to ever come into the Rhino Revolution orphanage. His mother was shot at 6 p.m. in the evening, and he was actually only found the next day. There we go, Anna's nodding her head. She's the one who's feeding me this information. I wish I could remember as much as they do. Yeah, we got lots of questions coming in slowly but surely. I think it's a bit of a difficult one to live, non-live, the signal difficulties here.
Eh?
So 6 years old now, you said. I'm going to take that one out so I can hear you as well.
First came to the orphanage in 2015 when he was just a few months old.
So 2015, so he's been living on respite for 6 years. Wow, isn't that incredible? So released in 2018. Questions are coming through a little bit slowly. Let's just reload. There we go, working. There we you go, exactly. Artie, we don't stress too much about the live feeds and stuff. The most important thing is the work that's being done for the rhinos to keep them safe. Exactly. A lot of people are asking, what is the varnish used for when at the end of the dehorning?
It is just a hoof oil, so it's similar to neat split oil or a hoof oil you put on horses' hooves, and it does exactly the same thing. It stops it from chipping, splitting or cracking. We've now removed that top protective layer of the horn, and so the oil just keeps it a little bit stronger and prevents it from cracking.
Julie, this is number 5 today.
Number 12, the bull is joined up with the cat, and this is number 4 of the lucky 5.
And then we've only got Konzo left to go on the lucky 5. But of course there are still another 6 white. And a black rhino cow and calf still to go. Are you going to do them all in one day?
No, it's getting a little bit hot here.
Yeah. So as it warms up, it becomes a little bit dangerous to work on the animals. They can overheat very quickly. So generally what will happen by now, we've been lucky at 10:30. Normally in summer we're done.
Yep.
By this time in the morning it just gets way too hot.
Usually about 27 degrees, depending on if there's cloud cover. That's when the vet will normally call it. Sometimes the weather conditions allow you to go a little bit later on in the week.
Okay, well let's go. It's oil, great, thank you. Julie, yes, they did them fast. The faster you can do them, the faster you can get the animals up and awake, the safer it is for the animals, and obviously we want to get it all done as quickly as possible.
Absolutely, it puts less stress on all of their organs, and it gives them a better chance of getting up and walking away much quicker.
It should be nearly done with the chainsaw, and then we'll go have a closer look when they're using the grinder. It's a little bit less noisy. Patsy Stagman would like to know, any chance that any of them are pregnant?
Hi Patsy, lots of love to Rhino Revolution UK. We have done rectals on both Masingita and Chipoko, and we have drawn blood from both of them. At this stage it is looking very, very promising, but we'll obviously wait for the blood results to confirm.
But there was some speculation that both might be pregnant.
Possibly. One more than the other.
Yeah, whilst Masingita we think more than the other. Yes, so Dizzy, the ears are plugged and they are actually sort of asleep.
Yes, they're not completely under, they're semi-awake, which is why we plug their ears and cover their eyes.
Indeed, Jason, it would be very nice if we didn't have a need to dehorn them, but at the moment it's just one of the many weapons in the arsenal to keep them safe. I mean, Rhino Revolution has active foot patrols, active horse patrols that keep monitoring the animals in this reserve and other reserves constantly. I mean, how often are you out on horse patrol?
Absolutely. So in the winter, with the cooler temperatures, we can ride full perimeters twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. Usually in the summer, when it is very hot, we have to think of the horses. We do a very early fence patrol on horseback, and then in the afternoon go out with the vehicle.
Butorphanol is the drug used at the moment, and then I just want to go find the dog. Okay. And then Yuka. Let's go. Well, she doesn't know where the darts that was pulled out from that one. Oh, yeah. Gotta jump on. Oh no. Okay. So I'll wait for them. We just wanted to show them where I had one the other one. Okay. So we'll be able to. Okay. So there we go. Jake, yes, bloods are taken definitely with the females to see if they're pregnant. But generally, as I said, yeah, we try to do as little as possible, only what's necessary.
They wanted to see the dog itself.
Yeah. But you can see to the next one, it's in the sharp spin and you don't want to dig in there. That stuff's very, very dangerous. That drug they use is 10,000 times stronger than morphine.
Ultrasounds are very difficult to do out in the middle of the bush. We are very inside the middle of something.
But that's fine on the rhino, obviously.
Yeah, but they're using 0.2 per mil.
Wow.
Incredible.
That's crazy.
It smells like fingernails, like burnt fingernails. Yeah, very small. You can see it.
Yeah.
PhD. If you have a PhD, apparently you'll know the smell.
Yeah, nothing.
It's like a pure morphine.
Yeah.
After that, it says your face
that's
started
crazy.
beaming
I didn't know that was that small.
pregnancy of the rhinos.
Absolutely.
Indeed, it is crazy that this is worth anything at all. Patsy?
Patsy's segment to help us work. You can support Rhino Revolution or Rhino Revolution UK. You can find all our details on Facebook, on our web pages, and you can choose which area of our project to donate to. So we don't have admin fees, whether it's dehorning, the mounted patrols, community engagement. You can choose where you want to help.
There we go, you can see both there. It's crazy. And it's amazing how they work it still, hey? Even the stump of the horn.
And you can see there's obviously been a bit of trauma there to the horn, either through fighting or rubbing against a tree. But every single horn is different, and you can see these areas here near the base of the horn is not as easy to smooth down and rub. So it's a lot more callous.
It is just unbelievable that there is a demand for fingernails. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Eugene.
Okay, well let's go have a bit of a closer look. Now that we're getting there we go, just gliding down, getting it as low as possible. Dizzy, those stumps are taken to an undisclosed secure vault where they are kept away from prying eyes and naughty people. We've still got one more of the lucky 5 to do, but unfortunately it looks like they've moved into a bit of a... Noel, ask away, guys. This is your time to answer questions. This is your time to ask questions, so ask away. Mani Pedi bush style, indeed. Ah, yes, Noel. Ah, yes. So, RR20 will be the rhino's number. So it's one of the orphans. So even though it's got a name, it also has a number from keeping track on it. And those numbers are monitored by the ear notches, etc., etc. Indeed, the crews here are so good. They are as quick as a NASCAR crew. You can see this is actually almost ideal at the moment. The way she's sitting, head up, easy to work on. The guys would have cleared some bush. Sometimes we get into some really difficult positions where you've got to actually take the chainsaw to cut the trees, etc., etc. Let's go ask Uncle Pete a question here. Hi Pete.
Hey, how you Brent?
So everyone, this is Dr. Pete Rogers, who's been doing the darting and overseeing all the procedures. There was a question here from Dizzy. When darting animals, does that negatively affect the fetuses?
No, very good question. It depends what drugs you use. The drugs we're using here are etorphine, which is an opioid. It's a morphine derivative, but it's 10,000 times stronger than morphine. Funny enough, that doesn't have any effect on the fetus. And then the other drug we use with it is called a zaparone. And again, that's a tranquilizer, and it's got absolutely no effect on the fetus whatsoever.
No, thanks so much for that, Dizzy. Yeah, you can see probably nearly time, and Josh has nearly finished grinding up at the horn there, so it'll be nearly time to wake him up. So obviously this one's got no fetus to worry about, being a boy.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. When I last checked.
You might have to go quickly because Jerry thinks Bruce has gotten Fonzo.
Okay, so Yuka, where's Yuka? I'm going bye-bye up into the helicopter again, so I'm going to hand you across to Yuka on the ground. Bye, Yuka. I think we'll just keep going live until we lose signal. We'll try to stay live for this, guys. Stay on board. Bye.
Who, this last one of the 5?
Yeah.
Janelle can wake this one up.
Cool.
You guys want to get airborne?
There is a shit ton of pepper ticks, so check your legs when I get there.
Okay, my mic is on. My mic is on. Do you copy me? Yeah, at the moment we are just finishing up. We're gonna wake him up very shortly. You can actually see. Look at this bone stick. It's huge bone stick. I don't wanna get bitten by this, but this is very, very big bone stick. This is, if it is a female, it can get swollen up until like literally this size. It can be huge, and now it's going in between the rhino legs. Actually, if you look closely onto the rhino skin, there's so many ticks on the skin. Now that's the reverse drag that Shalon's gonna put it in now. So then it's gonna start going to wake up soon. We're gonna burnish the rhino horns just now to avoid the cracking, and then he will be good to go. Just to make it more moist and protected from the dryness. We don't want it to be cracked. We are putting some more water on as the temperature is quite high. We want to keep his body cool. And then we're going to take the eye and the ear. We're trying to reduce the stimulation, so we always put this. He's going to wake up soon, so we will go off just now when the vet is still. Yeah, thank you.
You guys waking up?
Should I take this off?
I'll do it, thanks.
Okay. We'll just wait a little bit far, and then we're gonna start going onto the vehicle to be safe.
Yeah, Jerry's going to get in the air and then you'll tell us, guys.
Now we will just wait. We'll normally take a few minutes or so. Let's just go on the vehicle.
Jump up.
Hold on for dear life.
You can see now ears started moving more now. Yes, Kim, very, very healthy looking rhino. Very, very healthy looking rhino. It is getting hot here, so that is a little bit concerning. We put a lot of water on this one, but on the next one, if we're gonna really do it, we will really have to be careful with the temperature for going forward now. I don't know what's the exact temperature right now, but it feels like it's definitely more than 30 Celsius degree. I'm not sure what it is in the other way. You might see a little like a white blob on the bump. That's a little medicine. 34.
34.
Yo, 34. BM just talked to my ears. That is 34 degree. Okay, now he's waking up. Yeah, so through this process, the rhinos often get cut from the branches, because then he'll start. Maybe I'll move a little bit forward. 2. I'll just move a little bit, just to give him more space. I think this is where it's a good spot. Brian can still see, but we're kind of out of the way. And then we will just wait here. Yeah, white rhinos are much more easier to work on. Yeah, so as I was talking about, they get lots of cuts as they go through running away from choppers, all the stuff. Because this is the chop sound from the chopper. So this is quite intimidating sound coming out. So they will run through all the bushes crazy. So that's why they put little white blob like a medicine on every single cut, just to make sure that runners are all healthy and safe. Now it's the time to say goodbye to him. I can't see, no, he's still there. Brian's seeing him. He's just waking up, assessing the situations, realizing, oh, this happened to me again, so suck, probably. You can see the tail is moving. Yeah, sorry for the poor visual, but obviously we want to make sure the rhinos' safety is the priority, so I don't want to get close. Now we're gonna send you guys to this view of the chopper. Yeah, he has disappeared into the bush. Now we are working on the last rhino of these 5 orphans, the lucky 5. This is one last one here called Nkonzo. You can see now he's done. The dust is in here. Very strong morphine. Okay. Yeah. You can even see the flame mantis walking on the back of the rhino. So, this one's name is called Nkonzo, and probably maybe this is our last one for the day, as it is getting very hot. You can feel how hot the rhino is.
I don't think they can hear you.
Yeah. Now the front horn is being cut off now. You know how old he is?
About 6 years old now.
6 years old.
Yeah, more or less. Because obviously we guess when they come in, it's only an estimate of when they were born. So it's about...
His mom also been poached. So this Nkonzo is about, ooh, he got a little jump there. Remember, he's not completely sedated, so he still can hear, he still can open eyes. Obviously, it's been covered now, so it's still sensitive. So that's why it's important to make sure there is a minimal stimulation on the ears and eyes. And his name is Nkonzo, about 6 years old, and apparently his mom was also being poached, and that's how he became an orphan. And then this orphan was being taken care of the Rhino Revolution in a kayak. And then this is his second time, if I'm not mistaken, to do the dehorning in his time here. Now there's Brent came back from the chopper. Is your mic on? He's gonna put the mic on now.
UK, you're doing questions. I'm tired of reading.
I can't, like, it's so bright in here, like do like this.
Yes, what would Brent know?
Where we could fill up water drums and we don't have to go all the way back to kayak.
Hippo dam.
Someone has a tap.
No, but I just Hippo dam Boskamp.
The Noel rhino's name is
house.
Nkonzo. Nkonzo actually
Lodge
means
Pan.
trucks. So it's a cute name.
There's taps at Lodge Pan, Boskamp.
Okay. Depends where these rhino are.
Yeah,
So
but Leipa Dam, Boskamp.
Yeah, there's a lot of people working in the field.
Yeah, but if
As because it's obviously heavy animals, so it's like 10 people is needed to push him up.
I'll just let the stand back
They
now.
have to keep moving on the side to side if it's not in a good position until the, not threatening any of the lungs. This is the last one.
Last of the lucky 5.
Last of the lucky one. So we do more rhinos.
We still got so then there 6 you can say, but it's probably going to be the last one for the day.
For this one.
The heat.
Yeah. I can see how hot the rhino is. That's it.
So basically after we've done here, people make a call. As soon as it gets above 27 degrees Celsius, I lost my comms. Sorry, my comms are back in now.
The Aulala saying could take a sheet on the poles and set up the temporary shade. Possibly, but it's a really quick operation actually. Once the rhino is done.
And water works the fastest to bring their core body temperature down, much faster than when you put shade up. So the guys are constantly adding water. Nkonzo. Nkhozo. It means tracks.
Yes, Julie, there's 16 in total. But yesterday we did one. Today we did
it's going to get too hot.
We're going to take a little bit more water and send everyone back to the
What's that? The line of the... How's that? Okay. So guys, Anna, we're going to say goodbye to everyone. This is going to be the last live broadcast for the day. A big thank you to all of you for joining us. Thank you to Rhino Revolution.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's been amazing, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes that do a lot of work. The guys from Leadit, obviously Pete Rogers and his team, the best helicopter pilot in Africa, Jerry. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to fly with. And of course to all of you for helping and supporting and sharing and donating.
Yeah, and I don't know if you get Japanese people watching this, but
Say something in Japanese, you can.
thank you to Japanese supporters who funded this today. Arigatou gozaimasu. 本当に
Arigato.
ありがとう。
From Rhino Revolution side, huge thanks to Rhino Revolution UK, all our Rhino Revolution supporters, Wild Response, and everybody that's worked together to help Painted.tv put this live together and raise all the funds to save and dehorn these rhinos.
And remember guys, this is a world first. This has never ever been done before. The live streaming of wild white rhinos in the middle of the African bush. So we're glad, we're glad to have you there for another world first from the Painted Dog team, and we will see you all soon.
Thanks guys.